Really grateful to be here with you all to speak about the wounding of the feminine. Can I start or are you going to
Yeah,
say
hi
something?
Kashmi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am great, thank you. Thank you so much for joining this J1 Global Virtual Summit 2025. So let me introduce you to the audience. Later you can start the presentation. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So welcome Kam Kashmi on the stage. She is known as the spiritual surgeon, is an award-nominated speaker and transformational coach, helping women reclaim their divine feminine power. A serial entrepreneur and former US State Department expert speaker, she blends spiritual psychology with real world strategy to inspire global change. So that was a great topic, transform pain into power. So please start your presentation and good luck.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for the lovely introduction. It's a pleasure to be with you all here today. I'm very grateful and I'm really looking forward to sharing with you all about how to transform wounds into wisdom. Oops. Can you all hear me? Yes? Okay, great. Awesome. All right. So my name is, okay, thank you for the yes. Like she said, my name is Cam Kashani. I'm known as the spiritual surgeon. I have my doctorate in spirituality and I help women remember their power. It's a remembering. We all know it in our bodies. So let me ask you, when was the last time you remembered your power? When was the last time you let yourself be your true self? When was the last time you really took up space? When was the last time you let yourself be too much? Or do you walk around dimming your light? Do you walk around in a lower frequency, in what we call victim consciousness? Have you made your trauma and your pain the problem? Have you allowed yourself to reside in victim consciousness because something bad happened to you at some point in your life? Well, let me remind you that you're robbing yourself from a life of freedom and happiness as a result. And I'll share why by sharing parts of my story. My pain is my power, and my trauma is my superpower. I've been through the darkest demons that exist. I've battled the darkest demons on my path. These demons resulted in significant wounding that I had been walking around with my entire life. But I want to let you know something I learned about these demons and the pain in the process, that it is all here to serve us. It's all here to make us better. The darkness is here to serve us. As they say, without darkness, there is no light. Every time I battled a demon, every time I was up against absolute darkness, I asked myself, what is this trying to teach me? Not why is this happening to me? Of course, in the very beginning, there's the shock and the pain and the victimhood that comes along with something traumatic and painful happening to you. But once I let myself really, really feel that, I got to a space of how will I rise from this, because I know that I will. Perspective is everything. Transformation results from trusting the process and trusting yourself and working through the pain, not avoiding it, not pushing it away, and not projecting it or blaming anyone else. It's important to realize how incredibly powerful we are, how each and every single one of us has a story, and each and every single one of us has traumas, and each and every single one of us put those there. We are manifesting our own stuff that's happening. Believe it or not, your higher self, your soul self, is the one that put every single one of these problems on your path. That's how expansively powerful you are. It might be hard to grasp that concept, but it's true. So instead of going into victim consciousness when something happens, ask yourself, why did I put that there? Why did I put that there? What is this trying to teach me? Take your power back. Stop giving it to the demon. Stop giving it to the perpetrator. Stop giving it away to the one that took anything away from you. Stop letting them win. Stop letting the darkness win. Because as hard and as dark as some of our traumas are, and as hard and as dark as some of our lives have been, every single one of those has happened because you put it there, even if it's not consciously. So that's where the work begins. What is it in my consciousness that is attracting these situations? What is it in my subconscious mind that's attracting certain people, events, or problems? Or why did my soul agree to this situation? What am I supposed to learn or gain from it? For example, if you've ever lost somebody and they're no longer in this realm with us, as painful as that might be, what did that teach you and what did that bring you? And where did it bring you to? That soul was here to give you a gift. And as painful as it is that they had to leave, there was a gift involved, and you and that soul made that contract before coming into this planet. Now, I'm not saying you can't be sad. I'm not saying you can't have your feelings. I'm actually saying it's absolutely essential to have your feelings. It's absolutely essential to feel every single feeling that comes through. Do not push anything away. And I'm definitely not saying it's easy, and I'm absolutely not saying it's fair. But I am saying that you're the one that called it in. Taking radical responsibility for our lives changes everything. We all have karma and we all have soul contracts. We all agree to incarnate into this planet in order to be in the space of duality, the light and the dark, the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine. All of duality exists in this realm, and we decided to come here. Yes, it was our decision to come into this incarnation so we can experience duality, so we can experience pain, pleasure, and all of these emotions and feelings that we can't necessarily experience on the other side. So when you put everything into this perspective and you consider the possibility that it was your doing and the other soul's doing in regard to agreements, there was a learning involved. How does that shift things for you? How does that shift the conversation in your mind? How does that shift the story you have created? Another example, if you've gone through abuse, which is an absolutely terrible and inexcusable thing. How does it transform the story if you decide to take responsibility in regard to your soul being the one who called it in? And I say this as someone who has been through abuse myself. And what I learned is that it brought me to my power. Every trauma I have been through, and I've been through so many, has made me more powerful because I decided to go through it. I decided to heal it, and I decided to let go of the darkness and the hold that it had on me. I forgave myself. I forgave all involved, and I allowed myself to only reside in my consciousness, in my energy. I never allowed anyone else's energy to have a hold on me. All my trauma brought me back to me, the real me. Nobody No thing, no one, and no event can break you. The only one that can break you is you. It's up to you to decide if something that has happened to you in the past or in the present will break you. So, are you going to use the pain as power? Or are you going to use the pain for your demise? The decision is yours. It's all a choice. So, let's say you want to go down the path of power. Let's say you want to clear your system. Let's say you want to heal. What is the first step? Set the intention. When you set the intention that you want to transform pain into power, guess what begins to happen? The universe starts moving things around, bringing you signs, bringing you people, showing you light and support. You feel really held, you feel really loved. On the opposite side of that, if you want to stay in your wounding, if you want to stay in your pain, you'll continue to receive pain and suffering. Things shift according to your consciousness. So you begin by setting an intention, and then you have to get your signal and your intuition super clear. How do we do that? First and foremost, inner child work. Connecting to your little one that lives inside you can transform the relationship that you have with yourself. She is the one that needs you more than the adult version of you. She's the one who freaks out when things happen. She's the one who feels unstable. She's the one that can't regulate her emotions. That's her inside of you. Adult you has an understanding. The little one inside of you doesn't. So you can begin an inner child practice where you connect with her on a daily basis and make her feel safe again in your body. Our bodies do not feel safe, especially when we go through pain and trauma. So we need to do the work to bring us back to baseline. We need to bring us back to safety. And talking to the little one inside is a huge factor in that. It was absolutely life-changing for me when I started doing an inner child practice. It's not easy. It takes time, it takes discipline. But once you begin to do it, once she believes you, once you really show up for her and she sees that you're consistent, things begin to shift. You begin to trust yourself. You begin to feel safe again. And you bring back that innocence of the child that none of us are walking around with if we don't do the work. That innocence referring to that childlike, wow, look at this beautiful world that I'm in. Look at this beautiful place. We're walking around like zombies most of the time. We're walking around disconnected from our bodies. Speaking to the little one inside can give us life again. Another practice would be speaking to your higher self, your soul self, your God self, whatever you want to call it, the almighty part of you. We are all children of the Creator. We all have God energy. Speak to that part inside of you and begin to feel your power. Connect with that part of you daily. When you connect to that part of you, you become absolutely unmessable. No one can mess with you when you are grounded in your power and you are grounded in your truth. Finally, in addition to all of this, one thing that I did and continue to do consistently, which is absolutely transformative, is connecting to the energy of the divine feminine. The divine feminine is the most empowered aspect of ourselves. She is also one of the most powerful energies, if not the most powerful energy that exists in this realm. They call it Mother Earth, not Father Earth. The divine feminine is as powerful as it gets. Speak to her, call her in, have her help you. In her consciousness, trauma ceases to exist. In the consciousness of the divine feminine, we do not have trauma. We do not have pain. Everything disappears. We are just love and power. Authentic power. If you're unfamiliar with the concept of the divine feminine, and I highly recommend doing some research as to understand her power, you'll find a lot of information about it on my website. And how do you do this? How do you call in the divine feminine? How do you sit with your inner child? How do you talk to your God self, your soul self? It takes time and it takes practice, but you sit in meditation with these energies. You call them before you. You have a conversation with them. You feel their energy. You let them in. You do these things together, these three things together, you will transform, guaranteed. I have coached hundreds of people. This changes lives. I've changed my own life with it more than anything else. I was the opposite of what you're seeing in front of you today. I was quiet. I was scared. I didn't know my voice. I couldn't speak my truth. Doing these exercises transformed me. But you need to be persistent and you need to be disciplined. This is by no means an overnight process, but every time you do it, you will feel better. Trust me. I was the bullied girl. I was the scared girl. I didn't know who I was. I didn't have a voice. Look at what you're seeing in front of you today. An unapologetic, proud, and powerful woman who has transformed her life and now transforms other people's lives. These three methods that I did and I continue to do will change your life when done with discipline. Now, on a more practical, everyday basis, there is what we all know: meditation, yoga, exercise, and very importantly, clean eating. So many of us default to eating and overeating when we go through something painful, and that works against us. I did the same thing for years. My weight went up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. I beat my body up. I abused her. I hated her. I hated my body for such a long time. I questioned her. I looked at her in the mirror and I just saw ugliness. I couldn't see my beauty. I couldn't see my truth. I couldn't see my power. And it was mostly because I didn't know anything about keeping my vessel clean and clear. I didn't understand the importance of eating, not for the purposes of my body looking a certain way and starving myself and doing all of the crap that will kill you and make you hate your body, but for the purposes of my body being the spiritual vessel that it's meant to be. It's here to guide me. Your body is here to guide you. It's filled with ancient wisdom. It's filled with answers. I had no idea. Once I began to remove processed foods, chemicals, seed oils, anything that is harmful and inflammatory, the relationship with my body transformed and my intuition became razor sharp. Specifically, clearing out my gut. You know, you get a gut feeling. They call it the second brain, right? Well, we're all drowning out our gut feelings with the amount of chemicals that we eat. Our gut is completely overloaded and our intuition is substantially weakened as a result. Your intuition is directly linked to what you are allowing in your vessel. So once I cleaned up my body, healed my trauma, and I intuitively began to know things that I couldn't previously tap into, I actually realized I am an intuitive. I started having visions and knowings and hearing. My life completely changed. Most importantly, the relationship with my body changed. I realized I was lied to from the moment I was born. Every woman has been lied to from the moment she is born. We are told the big lie of we are not enough, that something is wrong with you. And I realized by clearing out all the things, clearing my trauma, healing, eating well, that I was perfect the whole time. Even when my weight went up and down, it was my body communicating with me. Nothing was actually wrong with me. We've been programmed to believe there's something wrong with our bodies, when in fact, it's our body that holds the ancient codes. Our power lies in our bodies, and they try to tell us we are not enough. Enough is enough. We are beautiful. We are absolutely perfect. We are so incredibly powerful just as we are, and it's important to honor our vessels and to keep them clean. By doing this, you take your power back. You don't let the system win. The system that's trying to dumb women down. The system that's trying to keep us in a state of not enoughness, in a state of I'm not pretty enough, thin enough, young enough. All of this crap that is absolutely programmed into our systems. You can clean all of this out. And remember your truth, remember your divinity, remember that you are a goddess on this planet. You are nothing less, no matter how old you are, and no matter what you look like, no matter what your body looks like, you are perfect. We all have spiritual superpowers, and they've been dumbed down from trauma, from chemicals and processed foods, and from conditioning. The wounding of the feminine as it relates to the feminine collective as a whole is an intentional agenda to keep women disconnected from their power because we are so incredibly powerful. When we begin to let go of our pain and connect back to our bodies and begin to love ourselves and do the work to love ourselves, we remember this. It's a remembering. Again, your body holds the ancient codes. You begin to remember your power. I did. The scared girl, the shied girl, the bullied girl, the girl that always thought she wasn't enough, the girl that hated herself, the girl that didn't want to be here, the girl that thought she was worthless. Doing these things that I shared with you today, I remembered who I am. And every single one of you can do the same. If I could do it, there is no doubt that you can too. It takes persistence, discipline, showing up for yourself, an unreasonable level of self-love. Loving yourself so much that nothing gets in the way. I was a single mom for 8 years and I still did the work. Don't tell me I'm a busy mom. Don't tell me I got too much to do. No, you don't. There is nothing more important than you. Nothing. The more you work on yourself, the better mom you will be. My parenting relationship transformed with my kids. My kids have transformed as a result of what I have done for myself. And they tell me, Mommy really loves herself. Do you know how beautiful that is for a child to say to their mother? And you know what? It's teaching them to love themselves and to prioritize themselves and stop giving out of nothing. Now you can decide to take these nuggets that I've shared with you today or you can decide to leave them. The choice is yours. It always has been. It's our choice to heal our minds, bodies, and spirits. And in this day and age, with the amount of information available, not taking charge of your mind, body, and spirit is a direct form of self-betrayal. And your body will end up showing you that with dis-ease. Autoimmune disorders, diseases, whatever. I had autoimmune problems too, by the way, that I healed completely. Remember, you're the one who called it in, so you're the one and the only one who can truly heal it. You're the only one who can heal yourself. There is no savior coming. You are the savior. That's how incredibly powerful you are. It's important to remember our power. It's important to remember our sovereignty. It's important to remember our truth. And it's important to remember that it's up to us whether we suffer or prosper. Let's stop letting the darkness win. And let's start remembering our light and our power. Thank you. If you want to follow me and learn more about what I do and how I can help, check out my Instagram. It's at Cam_Kashani. That's CAM_KASHANI. Super grateful to be here with you all today. If anyone has questions, I don't know how this works. I assume it's in the chat. Feel free to ask questions, assuming there's time. I don't know where the time is. But this was really beautiful. My company is called Divinus Lux. And we really help women remember who they are and how powerful they are. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know how to use the tech back here. Okay, there we go. Thank you. I'm not sure what to do right now.
Thank you so much, Kashmi, for the great presentation today. So we
Thank
do
you.
have a question from our audience. Let me give you the best question from those. Can you share a transformative experience where women successfully reclaimed her strength through your coaching?
Sorry, repeat that.
Can you share a transformative experience where a woman successfully reclaimed her strength through your coaching?
Sure. There's a lot. The one that comes to mind is a woman who is unhappy in her marriage, who was unhappy in her career, but she was really good at it. And she felt unfulfilled. She didn't have a passionate marriage. She didn't have passion in her career. She just felt disconnected from herself. She felt disconnected from herself, and she was just going through the motions of life. Waking up in the morning, taking care of her kid, making breakfast, going to work, coming back home, good night to her husband, and that's it. There was no life. After a period of time of coaching with her, she left her marriage with a smile on her face. Not in a way that she was like, oh my God, I'm leaving my marriage. But she was like, wow, this is expired. I need to leave. She left her marriage. She left her job. She started her own company. She just sold her company a few months ago for a nice amount. And she's never felt more fulfilled. She's connected to her spirituality. She's connected to her power. She is still doing the work. The work never ends. I still do the work every single day. I show up for myself. I still do the work. But this woman literally went from a life that was expected of her through family and whatever to a life that she created.
Yes, I truly agree with you, your answer, Cam. So thank you so much for answering this question. Hope everyone got received the answer. So please do join our next speaker sessions as well, and please do encourage other speakers. So before we get on to the next speaker session, let us take a 35 minutes of quick break and we will be back. So have some snacks for lunch or dinner, wherever you are, and I'll be back after 35 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.